Today in the crypto space, we see the market still enduring some negativity. Bitcoin coming down to about 83,000, Ethereum right around that 2,200, and the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, a mix of green and red. However, guys, there are some dips still to be had. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project, one layer one, a large cap, and that project is called AVAX. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the general market. As we can see, the general market is still in a slump. You can see the total market cap coming down approximately 1.4%. We are still in a downtrend. And what's quite interesting is the trading volume. As you can see, is when the market cap is falling, trading volume actually is also falling. When the market cap is rising, even in the downtrend, as it is rising, the trading volume increases. So that tells me that the market participation is slowly changing their bias, in the sense that when the market is looking good, volume is kicking in, which is good market participation. When the market is looking bad, when we start to see the market drop, market participation looks the other way, which means that nobody is really selling. There's not as much sellers. This is a good sign for a potential reversal. It technically is showing a bit of divergence here with regards to volume, and this is not a bad indication. Now we know that finally Bitcoin is oversold. The fear and greed is definitely in very fearful zones, much more than we've ever seen in a good while, which means that these are the moments of which decisions need to be made. Okay, guys, so we're going to definitely be looking for opportunities. Join me live tonight at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. We'll be taking a look at the markets. I will be taking requests. If there are any projects you want me to take a look at, that is a great time and place to make those requests. And we're looking for opportunities where we can buy in from a position of strength, buying low at horizontal supports, at great opportunities where invalidations can be nice and clear, and obviously with a lot of upside potential. All right, guys, let's scrape through this top 100. Then we'll take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and then we'll take a look at AVAX, because ultimately AVAX, being a large cap, is a project that I'm focusing on, given that we should see the large caps wake up if we're going to have a proper altcoin cycle here. Bitcoin, as you can see, still rolling over, guys. It's still making lower lows and lower highs. No real change of character here at the current moment. Ethereum in the same thing. And the rest of these, you can see them that a lot of them are struggling here. If we start breaking down even further, we're going to continue with these lower lows and lower highs until we get the change of character. Now, dead cat bounces, as you can see, like Sui, bit of a bounce. Do we actually break below the previous low, given that we've had a dead cat bounce? Maybe. Altcoin, the same thing. A couple of others are not really showing that. For example, Polkadot, not really a dead cat bounce, a nice recovery here. Mantra getting a bit of a recovery, but still in a downtrend in the short term. In a big picture, it's been on a tear, so we can't hate on this little dip. Hyperliquid kind of going sideways. Is this a bear flag for a continuation to the downside? All possible. As we keep on going down, you can see that a lot of these projects are either getting a decent recovery within a structure, or literally dead cat bounce where we start rolling over and making lower lows. Still not a convincing market. As you see, Aptos, the project that I covered yesterday, is doing very well today. 6.1% to the upside in a nice V recovery. Guys, if you missed out on that video, I think the analysis is still very valid, so go check it out. It's very important that you find positions of strength, and Aptos yesterday was in the perfect opportunity to start scaling in, and all of a sudden we're up a little bit more than the rest of the market, as can be seen. So this is important, guys, as even on negativity, we can still get a bit of relief and at least hold up fairly nicely with a few percentages to the upside. We got Filecoin waking up a little bit, but structurally speaking, nothing really major. And as we keep on going down, we see dead cat bounces, we see rollovers, Celestia coming down, but Celestia did get a nice run up, so no big deal. Structurally speaking, we're still sound. And as again, as we're coming down, guys, the market is not that convincing, not yet. I'm convinced big picture. I'm convinced that the market has endured, enough of a punishment to justify some relief. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to go to all-time highs in price discovery, at least a little bit of relief, and then we can make some decisions. Does that relief show us that there's enough strength to potentially start moving to the upside with an uptrend, and we get that change of character? Or is that relief just another maybe bigger dead cat bounce on higher time frames? Just keep in mind these fractals on the 1 hour and 1 hour time frame, so technically speaking, there's a lot of work that needs to be done still before we can get super bullish. Okay, so right now we're still, short-term bearish, long-term bullish, of course. We want to maintain the trend to the upside on the big picture, because Bitcoin and the rest of the space, even the total market cap, is still an uptrend on the big picture. However, in the short term, guys, we've been enduring a ton of pain. All right, guys, let's take a look at this, the charts. I know you're here to talk about price action, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Technically speaking, Bitcoin is still breaking down. There's no indication to me that Bitcoin is done falling. And just because, why here? What's your thesis on why here? I don't see any reason why Bitcoin should be holding up here. Okay, so this is my problem, is that it's possible we could definitely see some evidence as the price action unfolds that maybe we're going to get a reversal. But as of now, here on the daily time frame, the next target for me is at about 77, 76, right around this level, and then coming down further to about 73, 72 if we do not hold, that CME gap area between 80 and 77. That's what I'm looking for. So filling the gap brings us to this level, and coming down further brings us to the level where we can hunt some liquidity down into here. And of course, I did say 73, but it all depends on how much strength the bears have. Because if the bears have a lot of strength, they can chip away at this and bring us down even as low as about 68. I would hate to say that, but that's the reality. Reality is this is all liquidity to get hunted. And because of that, the market tends to want to induce pain, and the real pain for capitulation on Bitcoin, not the rest of the market, because a lot of these altcoins are already capitulated. You can see that Bitcoin has, lots of volume right into here that can definitely cause a lot of emotion. So maybe that's the place. So little by little, level by level, I will definitely be keeping an eye on it. The 4 hours still coming down, lower lows and lower highs. There's no indication to me of a reversal. Maybe there's a bit of divergence here, but nothing to celebrate over at the current moment. As long as we keep on making these lower lows and we start seeing these bearish retracements or these bearish responses that are producing those lower lows, it just means that the bears are still in control. And what we need is a change of character here so that we can make some higher highs and higher lows. Nothing yet here for Bitcoin. All right, guys, let's jump right into the AVAX chart, because the reality is there's nothing there for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin keeps on coming down as I expect in the immediate short term, unless we get the structure, I can expect a little bit more negativity here on the AVAX chart. Now, what does that mean for AVAX? I'm going to quickly go on the 4 day so we can consolidate some of this price action into a bit of a chart that we can see nicely. Now, I know my charts are a little bit of a mess, guys. I know that, there's a lot of lines, a lot happening, but we have to understand why this is the case. The congestion within this area is pretty dense, as you can see. As I scroll, make this tighter, you can see the density right into here. This is a very emotional level. This is a level of which we can classify as accumulation, and maybe even a bit of distribution now that we're coming down. The reality is it's mostly accumulation, given the fact that people that bought here haven't gotten liquidated yet. We're making higher highs and higher lows. We got a decent retracement. We came up for another high. That was great. And now we're back to those levels. And the question is, why are we here? Why are we coming back here again? Now, of course, we can say, well, the market is dipping, Bitcoin is dipping, the total is dipping, everything's dipping. I get it. But why on the AVAX chart is this important? Why? Because of these bottoms. You know how many stop losses are going to be placed right here? A lot of people are going to put stop losses underneath here. And that means those stop hunts are definitely going to come down. It's very possible for them to come down. If there's an incentive for market makers to cause the price to come down to that level, to hunt this liquidity, to go and cause some pain on these tops, and ultimately play some emotional games in this zone, and still potentially stay above the point of control at about $17. That's all very, 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 very possible. The problem is that scenario, in fact, is much more bearish than we think, because it kind of defines a lower low. Right? A lower low is not a good look. We already made a lower high, and coming down to this level will confirm a lower low. So below $17 is a lower low, and that is not good, because lower highs and lower lows, that means we're in a downtrend. And then ultimately, if we come up and get a confirmation, another lower low, then we come down for another lower high. So lower high, another lower low makes us come down all the way down here, which is not where we want to go. We don't want to hunt liquidity from 2020. That's not an option for a lot of us, right? That's not reality. But guess what? It's possible. So I always have a bearish thesis. For now, the only thing that I can say is this: we need desperately to stay up above $9 on AVAX. That is for sure. Let me get rid of the oscillators for a second. You can see the $8 mark is so important, like super, super important. I'm going to remove this for now. Maybe I'll leave it, whatever. It's not the point. The point is that we got these tops, bottoms, tops. So it looks like a really good level, and it is, the bottom of the volume gap. So like right around here, this is a nice area to expect some sort of emotional reaction. And then what do we have here? We have this, a little bit of something. You know what? Let's remove that one. Let's clean up the chart as best we can. This inverse head and shoulder most likely caused a lot of people to put stop losses on down here. And we're waiting for a stop hunt. And maybe a little bit of divergence here would be awesome. The reality is we are holding some support right now. We need to hold the $21 support, or else we're coming down. And like I mentioned, the next level is possibly coming down to about $13, $14, and then maybe as low as at about $8. What we got to do is understand that this is an empty space. This empty space, excluding this price action, if we kind of exclude it, you'll see there's an empty space there. That empty space shows us a weak spot, an opportunity to see the price fall through this volume gap and potentially come down to this level. And if that happens, guys, we need to be prepared with a plan. What are you going to do about it? Coming down for a really lower low, coming down to this level, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to buy the dip? Are you going to sell if we break below this thick yellow line, which is also very viable, given the fact that if you did buy into here and you didn't take profit right on here, guys, that means that you were a bit too greedy, and really the market tends to, punish greedy individuals. You need to take profit, and the reality is right now, people that didn't are going to get their entries tested, and the market plays enough games to get them liquidated. Even if it's 2x leverage, sometimes they get liquidated. That's means a 50% drop, by the way. So what does that really mean for us going into this price action right now? Swing low to swing high. If we come down to the 1.27 extension level, we're coming down to $8. Very confluent level. Very important level using Fibonacci theory, and that's a good horizontal support that needs to hold up here. So what I say is this: right now is not bad. $21. Why? Because invalidation is clear. We drop below the $20 mark. Get out. Figure out how you're going to defend yourself. You can cut your loss, cut your loss. Or you can wait for it to fall, back test on the confirmation, and then get out. A little bit of risk. You can reduce your position size if it falls and wait for the back test confirmation, to take out the rest. Or, if it comes down, you can DCA, buy a little bit here, very, very risky buying into here. And then hopefully maybe we get a back test and spring right into here as a swing failure pattern. And this was just a massive shakeout, a stop hunt, a liquidity grab, whatever you want to call it, market maker manipulation, and then finally we start moving to the upside. However, guys, because of the invalidation being so clean, I understand that you might want to put a stop loss here and build a bit of a position. Just be prepared for this swing failure pattern and that manipulation that could shake you out before it gets that reversal. So this is a trading moment. However, there is no structure here. At least you can see here there was structure, beautiful structure to play. Here there is no beautiful structure to play. And as right here we made that shoulder, we actually went up for a bit of a pump. You can see we can do the same thing. Look what happened here. Straight down, made that right the head of the inverse head and shoulder. So this could possibly happen. Swing failure, back test, spring, same thing could happen here, and prepare for it. And again, prepare for that worst case scenario. So it's either you're going to get in with bigger bags here or smaller bags. Smaller bags is not bad. Not bad of a strategy. Why? Because you can buy a little bit here, maybe 25%, buy another 25% here, and buy maybe another maybe another 25% here and then another 25 here, the likelihood of coming down here is low. So maybe 30, 30, 40. 30% over here, 30% over here, 40% over here, and call it a day. Your average entry is right around the zone, and call it a day and hold. And ultimately, when we see that recovery, you can make some critical decisions on how you're going to defend those gains. But ultimately, guys, this is the level that we need to watch out for. Lots of ambiguity here as well. Not much clarity on the volume gap. We got a nice point of control here, but there's not a lot of clarity. I like empty, concave volume gap so that I can buy in with a bit of understanding of where the volatility is going to be and the fair value is going to be. But at the current moment, there is none of that right here into this cluster. Why? Again, as I, put this into perspective, look at all the thickness of all this volume, guys. We need a break above $44 to start flying here with good conviction and good volume. That's what we really need. Up until now, the only reason why we're coming down is because we need to pick up some more bullish bids. Okay, so let's look at oscillators here for a second. Let's get off the 4-day. Let's look at the daily. You can see lower lows and lower highs. A bit of divergence happening right here on the daily, which is okay. Lower lows on the price action, high lows on the momentum. Barely oversold, got oversold, maybe a little bit here. This is not bad of an entry scenario. If you're going to put a stop loss right underneath here is fine. And then, this looks a little bit indecisive. Green Instagram bars are still fine. EMAs open up. This is not a bad time to buy in and take a bit of risk. Just put your stop loss a little bit wide. Don't use a lot of leverage so you can afford that stop loss, and then you're fine. As you get the confirmations, then you increase the position size either via more leverage or just buying more on spot or whatever the case is. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, if we go on the 4-hour, you can see that we bottomed out significantly on momentum. Oversold, not overbought. Oversold, not overbought. Oversold, and maybe finally we got overbought. My problem is this on the 4-hour, is we're still getting negativity on the short term. Even as we speak, we're getting a bit of negativity, and I would like to see where this 4-hour momentum volatility comes down. And if that makes another lower low, guys, the trend is still intact, guys. We got to be careful. Until I see a bearish response that does not produce a lower low, there's no real indication that the bears are losing strength. If it is the case where we get completely oversold, okay, down here, orange line, and this makes a higher low, okay, I'm interested. Because that means that on the response up, it's very likely that we make a higher high. Then all of a sudden we start to say, well, okay, we're making higher highs and higher lows. We need to break above this. Once we start breaking above this, guys, it's fair game. It starts to look like a nice pivot point structure. You get what I mean? So as of now, there's no evidence of that, not even on the 4-hour. So what are we going to do? If you're bullish on AVAX and you want to buy small bags only, DCA slowly and wait for those confirmations to deploy bigger into your bag. Guys, we're going to analyze the markets in a much more detail tonight, as I feel like it's so important to retouch upon the fear and greed and all of that. We did talk about it yesterday. The strategy was in. I think in the next little while, we should be getting a lot of good opportunities to DCA, particularly in the altcoin market. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setup, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.